Today on the Tiger Lacrosse Report, we'll review the Tigers' win over UMBC and preview their upcoming game against the Georgetown Hoyas. Get ready, fans. The Tiger Lacrosse Report starts now. Hello and welcome to today's edition of the Tiger Lacrosse Report. I'm your host, Ben Rosenbaum. The Tigers made the quick trip to UMBC to take on the Retrievers, and their offense fired on all cylinders, topping the Retrievers 20-5. Let's take a look at the highlights.
Goes to Brookhart behind the net. Now to Telekamp in front and scored. Carly Telekamp, the assist from Samantha Brookhart, puts the Tigers up 2-0, 27-52 to go in the first half, and the Tigers have come out firing away. 3 shots, 2 goals for Towson so far. Drops it off to Samantha. Samantha cross field to Telekamp, and she drops it in for an easy goal in front of the net. 3-0 Tigers, 26-17 to go. Nolan goes forward, fires a shot and in, and UMBC is on the board. 3-1 with 24-28 remaining in the first half. Nolan gets the rebound though and goes right back to work, fires and scores. Walfer forward. Fires and scores. Tiana Walfer finds the back of the net, just beating Peacock in the 5-hole. 8-3, 8:05 to go in the first. Flips it out to Jamison. Jamison moving in on goal. Jamison fires a shot and in. Jamison finds the back of the net. 8-4 Tigers, 1:58 to go in the first half. Shot on score. Caitlin Montalbano drifting to her right, fires again cross body and hits the top corner again. 11-4 Tigers, 27-29 to go. Shot and goal. UMBC scores 11-5, 25-12 to go. Drops in front for Telekamp, shot and score. 13-5, 22-48 to go. Spins. Comes back out front. Emily battling. Fires a shot. Score, Emily Gillingham. 14-5, 22-22 to go. Restart. There's 5 seconds. Towson moving forward. They throw it upfield. Shot, score. Sam Brookhart puts it in at the buzzer. Brookhart, if they count it, our final score is 20-5. And that will count, so Sam Brookhart puts an exclamation point on this one.
Sophomore Carly Telekamp scored 6 goals on 7 shots, and as always, I'm joined by the head coach of the Tigers, Sonia LaMonica. Coach, thanks for joining us.
Good morning.
So, starting with Carly, 6 goals, 7 shots, and it's easy to say that, you know, it's because of her height and just chalk it up to that because she's such a mismatch, but she really does move well around the net and so many other things.
Yeah, Carly, look, we've talked about her a little bit, but her lacrosse IQ is very good. Her ability to find pockets of space and her skill set with her stick. She's able to, you know, handle good passes, bad passes, and she's able to finish. I think that's the biggest thing you can see from 6 goals is how lethal of a finisher she is. She's just she's a great ability to move the goalie. To have patience on her shooting, but you know, she shoots with good power as well, even inside. So she's such a deadly finisher, and I think that's one of the biggest takeaways, something that we see her do in practice every day. The nature of how the UMBC game played out, she was oftentimes, you know, in that spot that put her in that position a lot, and she finished so well.
Defensively, you caused 10 UMBC turnovers. Overall, UMBC has 17 turnovers. Defense played really well, probably their best performance of the young season. And to top it off, Tiana Walfer gets a goal.
Yeah, that was a highlight, you know, for T for sure. Look, I think overall, you know, this team put together 2 halves, and that was a big takeaway from our prior game against Penn State was, you know, getting in a hole, having to claw our way out. So I put a lot of emphasis on us being sure that we came out and we don't wait till our backs are against the wall. It doesn't matter who we're playing, that we've got to come out and perform our best out of the gates. And I think they did such an exceptional job on the whole. Defensively, as a unit, they really made it difficult for UMBC to generate some good looks. And on the offensive end, really balanced. Aside from Carly's 6 goals, there are plenty of players who put up points, and that showed the team unity out there, and that they stayed consistent through the entire game. You look at 2 halves, 10 goals each half, so it was very consistent. So I was really pleased with that coming out of that game.
Yeah, you beat me to it. Really balanced attack offensively. You outshoot UMBC 37-17. Emily Gillingham scores, Alyssa Farrow scores, Sam Brookhart, Caitlin Montalbano. You got all the usual suspects in there. Carly obviously explodes for 6.
Yeah.
Are you looking for one player like Carly did to take over and shoulder the load, or is that just kind of how the chips fell that game?
Look, empowerment is the key to these players out on the field, and that they are playing together as a team. So we're going to see different defenses in each game we face. We're seeing more zones. And we saw a backer-style defense against UMBC. So, 2 approaches were going to play out from that defense that we saw. And one is, we're not going to handle the pressure that was coming out at us very well, or we're going to use that and attack that pressure and to create opportunities and openings on the backside. And that's what we saw play out a lot. So it involves a lot of sharing the ball, keeping the ball moving, keeping the D shifting, and at the end of the day, we've got 7 players out there that we're confident in who can step into the position and put the ball on the back of the net, and that's what we saw. So again, very pleased with the fact that any one of those 7 players, plus some in from the sideline too, when given the opportunity, that they have the skill set to put the goal on the back of the net.
So turning to Georgetown now, last year you beat the Hoyas 8-7. Carly Tellecamp scores with 24 seconds remaining in the game to give you guys the win. Are you expecting a similar type of game this time around?
I think it's important that we're ready for anything. Georgetown is a great team. They've just come off a tough battle against Maryland, and based on what we can see, Georgetown really, they fought hard. They're aggressive. They don't back down. They've got some great players, and so yeah, we can't come out underestimating this team for a moment. So it's going to be critical for us. We're going to be going down there, that we stay true to the things we've been working on, that we are ready when that first whistle blows, and that we've got to come out hard and compete. They're a team that can get you in transition from the draws, from the other end of the field. So we've got to be very ready defensively in our transition play. Our defense, our settle D has got to be on point. And we've got to be aggressive on our own right on offense, and again, use our team style offense to create the opportunities. So it's going to be a good game, I anticipate, for sure.
You kind of mentioned it there. They're coming off a loss to number 2 Maryland, 17-13, and their head coach Ricky Freed said he thought the Hoyas, played very inconsistently throughout that game, yet they still finished within 4 goals of the number 2 team in the nation. Does that scare you a little bit, that if they play their consistent game, this could be a kind of wake-up call for you guys?
No, because I have a lot of respect for that program and that team. You're talking about a U.S. national coach that's leading that squad. He knows lacrosse. He's got a great staff, and they have great players. So, we've got to be ready for a team that wants to come out and wants to be relevant, and you can't overlook. These are definitely the games that can, if you sleep on a team, they'll bite you. So we're taking this opponent very seriously, and we've been talking a lot this week about, making sure that, again, we're playing a full 60 minutes. We can't afford to take our foot off the gas. We can't afford to sit back and wait for something to happen. We've got to lead the charge, and we've got to dictate the tempo and the style of play.
This will wrap up a 3-game road trip for you guys, Penn State, UMBC, and now Georgetown. Do you like playing on the road a lot early, try to get the girls out of their comfort zone, away from familiar surroundings, and see what they've come up against?
I think, every season we look at how the season is mapped out in the games. Each game is an opportunity, whether it's home or away. I really don't think it matters, in all honesty. We do want to be as consistent as possible in our days leading up to our opponent, in our pre-game approach, in our game day approach. And the more we can keep that consistent, it shouldn't really matter whether we're home or away. We've got to just be ready. And I do think that the tougher the schedule is, the better that is for us in the long run. And that's going to prepare us down the stretch as we start to get into conference play and, you know, with the intention of NCAA play. So any way you sort of slice it up, I think is opportunity for us to get better and to learn and to continue to grow as a team. And, you know, whether it's the road trips, that'll allow us to do that. Home games will allow us to do it too. We'll always find an angle.
All right. Towson and Georgetown are scheduled for a 4 o'clock opening draw. I'll have the call on TowsonTigers.com starting at 3:45. For head coach Sonia LaMonica, I'm Ben Rosenbaum. Thanks for joining us, and as always, go Tigers.